Welcome back to Chapter 3 of our series, Data Analysis Without Code, Excel to Insights. In today's episode, titled Pivot Tables Mastery, the most powerful Excel feature, we're going to unlock the secrets of pivot tables and show you how they can transform your data analysis game. So, let's dive in. Your most powerful Excel skill might already be on your computer, and you've probably never clicked it. In one global survey, analysts said a single hidden feature cut their reporting time by about half. Today, we'll step into that feature and see how it quietly reshapes raw chaos into clarity. Pivot tables don't just speed up reporting, they quietly change how you think about data. Instead of asking, "What formulas do I need?" you start asking, "What question do I want this data to answer?" That mindset shift is where the real leverage lives. With a few field drops, you can move from a flat export to a layered view of customers, products, or regions, like turning a single melody into full harmony by adding parts one by one. You'll also notice something else: patterns you didn't know to look for. Sales that always spike after a certain campaign, support tickets clustering around one product line, costs rising in a region no one's watching. Pivot tables make it practical to explore these questions daily, not once a quarter when you have time. In this episode, we'll push beyond basic summaries and into the kind of pivot layouts that decision makers actually act on. Instead of staring at one giant export, think in terms of questions. Which customers are quietly shrinking? Which products pay the bills? Which region only looks good because of one big deal? The power move is to treat each of these as a view on the same data, not a separate file or report. With that mindset, fields stop feeling like columns and start feeling like knobs you can turn. By the end of this episode, you'll be comfortable building layouts that speak directly to margin, risk, and growth, not just totals and averages. Start with the raw material you already have, one flat table. The quality of that table quietly decides how far you can go. You want each column to hold one consistent thing, no Jan-Feb sales mashed together. Each row to be one event, a transaction, a ticket, a session, and headers that read like plain language labels, not cryptic codes. When those basics are in place, the pivots you build stop fighting you and start revealing structure. From there, think in 3 layers: who, what, and when. Who usually lives in rows: customers, employees, campaigns, SKUs. What tends to sit in values: revenue, quantity, hours, conversions. When is your secret lever? Drop a date field into rows, right-click, and group it. Suddenly, you're not just seeing time, you're choosing its resolution. Year for strategy, quarter for accountability, month for operations. That flexibility lets you design views that mirror real conversations. A revenue meeting might start with region in rows, year in columns, and total revenue in values. But the interesting part is how fast you can pivot the same data into top 20 customers by margin this year, or new versus returning customers by quarter, without touching the source. Now layer in comparisons. Add the same field to values twice, switch one to % of column total, or running total, and you move from static numbers to motion, growth curves, share shifts, contributions. That's where quiet customers who are shrinking, or products carrying an outsized share of profit, stop hiding. As your datasets grow, Power Pivot and its Vertipack engine turn this from a neat trick into a serious analysis surface. Relate fact tables, transactions, events, to lookup tables, customers, products, calendars. And you can drag a single slicer, say, customer segment, to refilter every pivot on the sheet. It feels less like building reports and more like steering an interactive model. Your goal isn't one perfect layout. It's a small set of reliable views you can flip between in seconds when someone asks, "Can we cut this by product?" Or, "How does this look year over year?" Think of this stage like moving from sketching to storyboarding. You're no longer just listing numbers, you're arranging them to reveal cause and effect. Start with a concrete scenario. A support manager wants to know not just how many tickets, but where are we repeatedly failing? One layout surfaces ticket counts by product. Another swaps in time to resolution and groups it into bands: 0 to 4 hours, 4 to 24, 24 plus. A third adds issue category and filters to churned customers only. Same source, 3 stories: volume, speed, and risk. Or take a finance lead reviewing costs. One view shows expenses by department, another replaces departments with vendors, a third keeps vendors but adds a calculated field for cost per unit delivered. Now you're not arguing about marketing spends too much. You're asking, which vendors drifted upward this quarter, and did delivery actually improve? Use a separate sheet per storyline, but tie them to the same cache and slicers, so a single filter reframes every angle at once. Executives increasingly expect live answers, not static decks. As more data flows in from SaaS tools and IoT, pivots become the front door to questions you didn't plan for. Mid-meeting, someone asks about seasonality by channel or support load after a price change. Used this way, they're less like monthly reports and more like a stethoscope, a quick, targeted check on the health of any metric before you commit engineering time or budget to deeper analysis. Treat these views less like static dashboards and more like rehearsal space. Try rehearsing uncomfortable questions. Where are we losing money fastest? Which customers quietly disappeared? Let the quick reshapes provoke follow-ups you wouldn't ask from a fixed report, and capture those as saved layouts you can revisit and refine. Start with this tiny habit. When you first open Excel for the day, click on any data table you're already using and press Alt-N-V or Insert Pivot Table just to open the Pivot Table dialog. No need to build anything yet. Once it pops up, change only one thing. Switch the location to Existing Worksheet and pick a nearby empty cell. Then drag just one field into rows and one into values, even if it's as simple as region and sales, and glance at what changed. If that feels easy, close it or undo. Your only goal today is to practice starting a pivot in under 30 seconds. This was Owl Up, your daily step forward. This series continues with more chapters on owlup.co. Visit owlup.co to access the complete course and continue your learning journey. See you there!